Welcome to Daily News in AI Agents, the place to get a quick roundup of the most exciting developments in AI agents every day. Subscribe to our LinkedIn newsletter today in the link below to stay activated. Welcome to another deep dive. This time into AI. It's just the first week of January 2025, and already there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, it feels like every day there's a new headline.
Right. And you've given me such an interesting mix of sources for this one. Articles, reports, even a podcast episode. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, me too. What strikes me is how these sources show us that AI is changing so rapidly. It's not just about the tech itself anymore.
There's like the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's about the money pouring into AI, the hardware it needs, and even the really big questions we're starting to ask about its place in society.
Okay, so let's start with the money part. One article mentioned that 98.4% of organizations are planning to increase their investments in AI and data this year.
Wow, that's almost everyone.
I know. It's a huge sign that businesses are seeing AI as essential to their future. And then you look at all the enormous funding rounds for AI startups last year.
That's like a gold rush right now.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, is there a risk of things getting out of control? Could we see an AI bubble?
Ooh, that's a good point. So on the one hand, this investment could lead to amazing breakthroughs, like that article about cobalt metals using AI to find new copper deposits.
Yeah, that was fascinating.
I mean, that could completely change sustainable infrastructure.
Absolutely. AI has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges. But growing this fast can also lead to unrealistic expectations and focusing on short-term gains rather than long-term sustainability.
So it's a balancing act to support innovation, but avoid a crash. It really makes you think about where all this AI is going to run.
Right? Algorithms need hardware. And
Right.
NVIDIA is still the dominant force in the GPU market. They acquired a ton of companies in 2024.
But there are some competitors trying to catch up.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that podcast you shared, Ion AI. It talked about Sampanova systems, and they're making these super fast and energy-efficient AI models.
Their approach is really interesting. What they're doing is building systems specifically designed for AI inference.
So not just training the AI, but actually using it to solve problems.
Exactly. It's about applying what the AI has learned in the real world.
Okay, so is that why Sampanova is getting attention? Because their systems are more focused on the doing part of AI rather than just the learning part.
You got it. Think about it as AI gets more integrated into our lives. It needs to be fast and responsive.
Right. Like we don't want to wait forever for our AI assistant to answer a question.
Or for a self-driving car to make a decision in a dangerous situation.
Needs to be instant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Sambanova's focus on energy efficiency is huge, too. It lets us use AI without putting too much strain on our resources.
That's a crucial point. We can't forget about SK Hynix either. They were at CDS this year calling themselves a full-stack AI memory provider. It sounds like they're really focusing on the memory technology that AI relies on.
Memory is crucial for AI, just like it is for humans.
It's like short-term memory.
Exactly. It lets the system access and process information really quickly. SK Hynix is making big bets on advanced memory solutions to make AI even faster, more efficient, and more capable overall.
So in this AI hardware race, NVIDIA is building the brains, Sampanova is creating the testing ground, and SK Hynix is providing the memory. It sounds like an entire AI ecosystem is coming together.
That's a great analogy. And this competition is driving incredible innovation, making AI more powerful and accessible than ever before.
And speaking of accessibility, let's talk about AI agents. This is where things start to feel like science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? Alibaba's research lab just launched a framework for building them, and there's so much excitement about their potential.
Yeah, but one article in the Decoder warned us not to get carried away.
Right, we need to manage expectations. The tech is still pretty young.
Yeah, but the possibilities are amazing. That piece in the new stack showed how AI agents can already work as team members, automating tasks and boosting productivity.
The potential applications are huge.
It's easy to imagine robot butlers, right?
Maybe one day. For now, AI agents are best for very specific tasks. They don't have the same general intelligence and adaptability that humans do.
And they can still make mistakes.
Definitely. So no robot butlers just yet. But who knows what the future holds?
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about something more philosophical. The connection between AI and morality. OpenAI just funded a $1 million study at Duke University. They're trying to create a moral GPS for AI.
That's such an ambitious project.
But is it even possible? Can you program morality into a machine?
That's the question at the heart of this research. Morality is so complex. It's not just about following rules. It's about understanding context, empathy, and even cultural differences.
Yeah.
Teaching that to an AI is a huge challenge.
Yeah. What's ethical to one person might be completely unacceptable to someone else.
Exactly. And it raises some really tough questions about who gets to decide the ethical framework for AI.
And what happens when AI makes a decision that goes against human values?
These aren't just theoretical questions anymore. We're already facing ethical dilemmas in the real world, especially with the debate around AI and copyright.
Oh, right. With all the lawsuits claiming companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta infringed on copyright by using copyrighted material to train their AI.
It's a clash between the rights of creators and the need for AI to keep developing.
It's like a classic David versus Goliath story.
Yeah.
The artists and creators want to be compensated when their work is used, and the tech giants are claiming their use is transformative and falls under fair use.
It's not an easy problem to solve.
It sounds like finding a balance is key. It's interesting that Anthropic made a deal with music publishers to stop their chatbot Claude from quoting lyrics.
I saw that too.
Maybe that's a sign of things to come. Maybe instead of fighting it out in court, we'll see more collaboration between AI companies and creators.
I hope so. It would be great to see them working together to ensure everyone benefits.
So instead of worrying about AI replacing human creativity, maybe we'll see them working together as partners.
That would be fantastic. And it's a perfect segue into our final topic for this part of our deep dive, the broader potential and perils of AI. Is it going to save us or destroy us? The sources seem to have mixed opinions.
It's the ultimate question, isn't it?
It really is. On the one hand, you have people like Jeffrey Hinton warning us about the danger of superintelligent AI becoming a threat to humanity.
I read that article. It was a bit unsettling.
Right. But then you have stories about AI being used to combat climate change and develop new medicines.
It's like we're at a crossroads. The choices we make about AI today will have a huge impact on the future.
We're definitely at a pivotal moment. It's a moment that requires careful consideration, open discussion, and collaboration between everyone involved: technologists, ethicists, policymakers, and everyday citizens.
It sounds like we all have a role to play.
We absolutely do. The future of AI depends on all of us.
Wow. We've covered so much ground already, from the investment boom to the ethics of AI, but there's still so much more to explore.
I can't wait to dive into specific AI applications in the next part of our discussion. We'll see how it's changing industries and what it means for the future of work, creativity, and even the nature of intelligence itself. Welcome back to our deep dive. We're picking up our exploration of AI.
And this time we're getting more specific.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about the big picture, but now let's zoom in and see how AI is actually being used in different areas.
It feels like it's everywhere these days.
It really is. And to understand the implications, we need to look at real-world examples.
So let's start with visual media. AI is already making waves there, from creating manga to generating deepfake videos.
It's pretty mind-blowing. And it raises questions about the nature of creativity and authenticity.
Like, is it still art if it's created by a machine?
That's a big one. Remember that DeepSensei AI system we talked about? The one that creates manga from written stories?
Yeah, it was amazing.
It can maintain consistent character appearances and page layouts. It's really remarkable.
It makes you wonder how it will affect human artists.
Some people are worried that AI will replace them altogether, but I think it's more about collaboration.
So AI becomes a tool to help artists work more efficiently and explore new ideas.
Exactly. AI can handle repetitive tasks, suggest different styles, and even come up with new concepts. But the human touch, the spark of inspiration that's still irreplaceable.
That's reassuring. But we can't ignore the downsides of AI in visual media either, like deepfakes.
Right. They have the potential to be incredibly harmful.
Yeah.
Spreading misinformation and creating fake content.
Like that article about deepfakes being used in political campaigns.
That's a dangerous trend.
But it's good to see that governments are starting to take action.
Yeah, like those sanctions against using deepfakes to interfere in elections.
It shows that they're recognizing the threat and trying to do something about it.
Hopefully those measures will be effective.
Okay, so let's move from the visual to the auditory. AI is transforming the music industry too.
Oh, absolutely. And not just with the copyright issues we discussed earlier.
Right.
It goes way beyond that. Artists are starting to use AI as a creative partner.
So they're using AI to help them write songs.
Exactly. AI can generate melodies, harmonies, and even entire compositions.
It's like having a personal AI songwriter.
That's a great way to put it. AI can help musicians overcome writer's block, explore new ideas, and even tailor songs to specific moods.
It opens up so many creative possibilities.
It really does. But of course, there are concerns about AI replacing human musicians.
Like with artists.
Right. But again, I think it's more likely to become a tool that enhances human creativity.
Okay, so we've talked about art and music. What about the job market? That's another area where people are worried about AI.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about AI automating jobs and leading to mass unemployment.
And it's understandable to be concerned.
It is. But we need to remember that technology has always disrupted the job market.
Like the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. Some jobs will disappear, but new ones will be created.
Jobs we can't even imagine yet.
Exactly. The key is to be adaptable and embrace lifelong learning.
So it's not just about learning specific skills, but developing those uniquely human qualities that AI can't replicate.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
creativity, critical thinking, empathy, emotional intelligence.
Those are the things that will set us apart from machines.
Absolutely.
Speaking of disruption, let's talk about healthcare. AI is already making a big impact there.
It really is. From diagnosing diseases to developing new drugs to creating personalized treatment plans.
The possibilities are incredible.
Imagine a world where diseases are caught earlier, treatments are more effective, and drug development is faster.
AI could revolutionize healthcare.
And it's not just about high-tech solutions, it's about addressing practical challenges too. Like I read about this company called Aphorus.
What do they do?
They're using federated computing to train AI models on data from multiple sources without actually sharing the raw data.
So they can protect patient privacy.
Exactly. It's a brilliant way to leverage massive amounts of data to train powerful AI while also keeping that data secure.
It sounds like a win-win.
It really does.
But even with all these benefits, we need to be aware of the risks of AI, like in finance.
You mean like those AI-powered phishing scams?
Exactly. They're getting more and more sophisticated.
Cybersecurity is an ongoing battle, and AI is being used on both sides.
To both attack and defend.
Right. Companies like eBay and Beasley, the insurance firm, are investing heavily in AI to detect and prevent these threats.
Like an AI arms race.
In a way it is, but AI is also being used to improve internal processes in finance, like analyzing data to detect fraud, assess credit risk, and even give personalized financial advice.
So it's making the financial industry more efficient and data-driven.
Exactly. But it's crucial to use AI responsibly and ethically.
With safeguards in place to prevent unintended consequences.
Exactly.
You know, one thing that's really striking is how accessible AI is becoming. It's not just for tech giants and research labs anymore.
That's true. There are so many AI tools and platforms available to anyone with an internet connection.
It's like the early days of the internet, when suddenly anyone could create a website.
I see the parallel. We're seeing a similar explosion of creativity and innovation in the AI space.
And it's just the beginning.
It really is. And that's why it's so important to educate people about AI, demystify it, and empower them to use it responsibly.
That's a good point. Education is key. And it needs to go beyond just teaching people how to use the tools.
Right. We need to have open and honest discussions about the broader implications of AI, both the good and the bad.
The potential benefits and the potential risks.
Exactly. We need to talk about bias, fairness, transparency, accountability, and we need to involve everyone in these conversations.
Not just the tech experts.
Right. We need diverse voices, artists, philosophers, social scientists, everyday people.
We need a holistic approach.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI is too important to be left in the hands of a select few. We all have a stake in it.
That's a powerful message. And a great place to end this part of our deep dive. We've explored a wide range of AI applications from art and music to healthcare and finance.
And we've seen both the incredible potential and the potential dangers.
It's clear that AI is a force to be reckoned with, and its influence is only going to grow.
But we have the power to shape that influence, to guide AI towards a future that benefits humanity as a whole.
So as we move into the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore what all this means for the future of intelligence itself. We've talked about how AI is impacting so many things, business creativity, even ethics. But for this last part, I want to get really big picture.
You mean existential?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What does all this AI development tell us about intelligence itself?
Ooh, that's the question, isn't it? As AI gets more and more sophisticated, the line between human intelligence and artificial intelligence is getting blurrier.
It really makes you question what intelligence even means.
It does, and it makes you wonder, are we on the path to creating something truly intelligent?
I was reading about the debate over AI scaling, and it got me thinking.
Oh yeah, The idea that if we just keep making AI models bigger and feeding them more data, we'll eventually reach AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Right, AI that can actually think like a human.
It's the classic bigger is better approach.
Hmm.
And it's worked pretty well so far. But is processing power enough for true intelligence?
That's what some people are arguing. They say true intelligence needs more than that. Like common sense, creativity, emotional understanding, maybe even consciousness.
And those are things we don't even fully understand in ourselves, let alone know how to program into a machine.
Exactly. So if we create an AI that can do all those things, are we talking about a super advanced piece of tech, or are we talking about a new form of life?
Whoa. It really challenges our whole understanding of what it means to be intelligent, to be alive.
Okay. Now I'm thinking about all those sci-fi movies where the robots become self-aware.
And then it's either utopia or apocalypse.
Right. But seriously, is that a possibility?
It's definitely a concern. But I don't think we should jump to the worst-case scenario. AI has the potential to be an incredible force for good.
So not our overlords, but our partners.
Exactly. Imagine AI helping us solve problems we could never solve on our own, like climate change or curing diseases.
Okay, that sounds more hopeful. But how do we make sure that happens? How do we prevent the sci-fi dystopia?
It comes down to responsibility. We need to be thinking about the ethical implications of AI every step of the way. We need transparency in how it's developed. And we need to make sure AI reflects our values as a society.
So it's not just about building smart machines. It's about building machines that will make the world a better place.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And it makes you realize AI is ultimately a reflection of us. We're the ones creating it, shaping it, guiding its development.
So if we want AI to be a force for good, we need to start with ourselves. What kind of future do we want to build? Not just for humanity, but for the intelligent machines we're creating.
That's a lot to think about. It feels like this whole deep dive has been about expanding my understanding of what's possible, both with the technology itself and with the questions it raises.
That's the beauty of exploring these topics. It's not just about finding answers, it's about asking better questions.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from all of this?
The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's a story that's still being written, and we all have a role to play in shaping that story. So stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay hopeful.
Those are words to live by. And on that note, we'll leave you with one final question to ponder. As AI continues to evolve, what does it mean to be human in a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.